Hello, I'm Faye Schulz from Mrs Lacy's, and today we're gonna make my famous apple bread. The ingredients for my apple bread is the gala apples, and I use 4 cups of gala apples. I use 4 cups of flour, and I use self-rising flour because my mother used self-rising all the time. And then I use 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of oil. I use cinnamon, and my recipe usually calls for salt, but if salt is already and baking powder is already in your self-rising flour. And then I use chopped pecans. All right, let's get started mixing the batter for our apple bread. Okay, and I'm going to pour in 4 cups of self-rising flour. And then we're going to do, I have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And then I also have 1.5 cups of sugar, granulated sugar. I have 1 cup of oil, and I use canola oil. And then I use 1 cup of milk. And I use half and half because I have that readily at the restaurant, but it doesn't matter. You can use whole milk, or you can also use half and half. And then we're going to use 2 eggs. So we're going to crack 2 eggs now. That's 1 and 2. And pour that in. Now we're just going to mix everything together. Now that everything is mixed together, I am going to fold in 4 cups of diced apples, and I use 1 cup of chopped pecans. So we're going to add the apples, and then we're going to add our chopped pecans. And we're going to fold everything in together. This is a really thick batter, but it is so good. Now, the recipe says to peel your apples. I don't peel my apples, and the reason I don't, because I think, you know, the little bit of added fiber is great. So, I don't peel my apples, but if you don't like the peelings on it, I can't tell the difference. Don't, just do it like this. And then we're ready to pour this into our pans. See how wonderful this looks? And it's a thick batter with lots of apples and lots of nuts. And this recipe makes 4 of the small little metal pans, loaf pans. And so, and I've sprayed the pans really good with canola oil. And you can use whatever you like. Baker's Joy's good. Anything that just coats your pan really good. So we're going to pour the mixture in our pans. And make sure that you, when you're pouring it, make sure that you just kind of stop a little bit and make sure all the mixture is into all the edges. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. The batter is thicker than you would think it would be, but it makes a fabulous bread. I'm scraping all the batter out, so I don't want to leave any in there, and I always use a little spatula, which gets the edges really well. Okay, so we have 4 pans, and I fill them really about half full. Now we're going to put our 4 loaves in, and I put them on a pan, which I like it because it's easier to handle, but in a preheated oven, 350 degrees, for about 60 minutes, or until golden brown, or until a toothpick comes out clear. Okay, now we're going to make a simple glaze for our apple bread, and I use confectionery sugar, I use some chopped pecans, and milk. So we're going to add a little bit of milk, and just add, you're going to add and stir. And I usually don't measure this, I just pour, and I think this is about a box of confectionery sugar, and it's going to take that. But I like lots of glaze on my apple bread. So we're going to stir this up really good. I'm going to add just a little bit more and stir it until you don't see any lumps. And I like to pour mine on the bread when it comes out of the oven when it's warm, and pour just a little bit, and then when it cools a little bit more, then you add the rest of it. And so I like lots of nuts, so I'm going to add plenty of pecans in there, and it makes a absolutely wonderful glaze. And this is the end results of our apple bread that is glazed with lots of pecans on it. Great with a cup of coffee. Actually, I'm going to take 3 loaves to the beach with us this weekend, but it is absolutely wonderful. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like and share this video. Thank you.